Pretty pin. I look like really old school makeup. Better.
Better?
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 I don't know. You tell me. Better?
Better. Yeah, alright, better. Oh, what the heck? Okay, alright. Hi
Hi guys!
We're doing another question.
Yeah. Guys, that noise in the background is the white noise that's playing in Hannah's room, going through the walkie-talkie thing that we have down here plugged in so we can hear her if she wakes up.
Yeah, so we want to talk a bit about the last video.
It might be fake, but we really did get the email and it was titled what we titled it. So if it was fake, it wasn't from our part. But guess what? I believe that it actually happened because you...
I believe it happened.
Yeah, because you haven't seen the rest of our emails because there's crazier shit than that. We just pick what we'd like to film.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, I don't know. Some people are saying we wrote the emails. Ain't nobody got time for that shit.
It is completely possible for that story to have happened because an imam, just because he is an imam, doesn't mean he can't cheat. Because he's a human being and all human beings make mistakes. And you guys need to be aware that some people do abuse their position of power that they do have. Because not everybody in this world is, you know, good. Most people aren't, unfortunately. And you actually do need to be aware that just because there's somebody who's in a position of power or authority, it doesn't mean that you listen to absolutely everything they say and go along with absolutely everything they tell you.
Anyways, so you get the gist of it. Moving on to the question.
No, what we did also want to say is that this shit happens a lot, by the way.
Oh, it happens all the time.
It just isn't talked about a lot because people don't like to make the Muslim community look bad. But it's not about making the Muslim community look bad. You're bad if you don't do something about something that's really bad, like
yeah, exactly. We're giving our advice, our honest advice. We're trying to help people out.
Some things need to be addressed, important issues like that. And y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they need to be addressed. And if you don't like our content and you don't like what we're saying, what you can do is use the door and don't let it hit you with the good Lord split you.
What? That's disgusting. What's wrong with you?
Then why is that disgusting? I just said bum. I said it's another metaphor for bum.
Oh, right, okay. That's fine then.
What did you think it meant?
I don't know. Okay.
Sick. Oh. 5 minutes have wasted already. Here, you read this email.
Okay, I read the last one then. But you read like you can't read, so.
What?
Okay. Ready? The title of this email is Arranged Marriage. And we're just going to read this email as a general and try and answer it as best we can. But we also would like to talk about arranged marriage in general. Or arranged or forced marriage in general. Right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Slam guys, hope y'all and the little one are in the best state of iman and health, inshallah. Keeping this short.
I'm gonna put the volume down on this.
In August 2015, I went to Pakistan for a supposed vacation. Everything was all good until my dad decided my wedding with his elder brother's son, which is your cousin. Of course, what followed me finding out was the obvious, crying and saying no and just heaps of drama, and then my dad's emotional blackmail, saying he had made a promise and that he must keep his word, etc. I did it for my dad anyway. My mum passed on when I was 6, so I really had no one to talk to then. Oh. My sister was only 14. I wasn't in any prior relationship, so I wasn't heartbroken or anything, but I didn't know this guy properly. I thought to myself, I might as well give my 200% to this relationship because there's really no turning back now. So you got married to your cousin. My whole life I was the really outspoken and outgoing kind of girl. To be honest, I thought he'd already like me since most Pakistani boys I know are pretty desperate. No offense. On the first night of marriage, he said he was sleepy and tired and that he'll see me in the morning. I know it hasn't been long, but I think in the months we've been together, you'd put a little effort in, or you'd at least want to touch me or hug me or anything. You get the point. I do. I basically live with a robot who only has time for work and sleep. Even things husband and wives should do together out of love is like a chore. Get it over and done with, no emotions. I've come back to Australia to finish my last year at uni. Oh, just stay there, love. And just give him some time. But what can I do to make him love me? Because to be honest, I have no one else to love. But it's as if I'm just not enough for him. I've become so insecure, which was really, really unlike me. Oh. P.S. I hope you guys can use your platform to reach parents who set such alliances without thinking of compatibility. I never blame my husband, but I do blame my dad.
Damn right you do. I blame your dad too.
Yeah, it is your dad's fault, obviously. He's making you get married.
So we'll get into forced marriage after this, but I think reading your email, it sounds like he doesn't like you. You know what I mean? He's not attracted to you.
Yeah.
So, I know it's a bit blunt, but I would say it's not worth it. Maybe it needs to come from him to say, oh, I don't want to be with her anymore, blah blah blah, and then, you know, you guys could get a divorce and move on. You think?
That is the shittiest advice you've ever given in your life.
Why?
You're just telling her to get divorced, just to give up.
No, it's not about giving up. They don't. Look, it was arranged marriage in the first place. They're not compatible. That's what she's saying. It's a compatibility issue here.
If you read the email properly,
she wants to be loved, right?
What she's saying
but
is,
they're not compatible.
But also she's saying she actually doesn't mind him anymore, but they want to make an effort. It's just like some arranged marriages, you know, when you get married to somebody you don't know, but you both make the effort, you know, and then the love comes later, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's if you're, there's a,
yeah, but
people
hello,
are compatible.
Hello.
What are you talking about?
999, hello, ding ding ding, ring ring ring.
What are you talking, don't talk to me like that.
Listen.
What? Ninja.
Listen.
Hurry up, man, come on.
I forgot. Hold on,
shut up,
no,
you
stop,
don't know what you're talking about.
No, let me really think about it, because it was going to be really good. Yes, they don't know if they're compatible yet, because neither of them have tried. He's not trying, he's not letting himself, which tells me that they won't let themselves find out if they're compatible or not, which tells me that he was also forced or emotionally blackmailed.
So they were both forced.
Wait, he was also emotionally blackmailed into the marriage. It wasn't just the woman, so he's probably miserable about it too. Or maybe he was in love with somebody else, but he's had to marry you for family reasons, etc. So he's just miserable about the whole thing anyway.
So obviously get a divorce.
Well, they're married now. Why can't they try and make it work?
If you just said if he's in love with someone else, then that could be the case. So obviously get a divorce.
Hello, if he's in love with somebody else, but he agreed to get married, obviously he knows he can't be with the other person, but right now he's just miserable.
Okay, so basically Dina's advice is stay miserable for the rest of your life, yeah? Don't talk to each other, be robots.
No, my advice is don't just, oh, okay, I'm having a divorce, but it's like what she wants to do. She wants it to work. She wants to try. So what we need to do is advise her now on how she can get him to want to have a go.
Yeah, but you need to talk to him on the level. If he's got someone else, then he's not going to want to have a go.
Hello, he might have been in love, but before, and he wanted to get married to that person, but he's been forced to marry her, but maybe he's cut ties with the other person, but he's just not ready to move on yet. Do you get it?
There's loads of possibilities in this situation, basically. There's loads of possibilities. You just need to talk to him. On all the possibilities, you just need to talk to him.
Yeah.
Which way do you guys want to go from this? You know what I'm saying? And he might actually not be a robot then, because you're actually talking about the situation you guys are in.
No, and that's why he doesn't want to come near. He doesn't hug her or nothing, she said. He literally doesn't want to know. And it's been how many months? He could potentially be gay.
He could be.
He could potentially be gay.
But everybody just drops the gay card when something like this happens. He might not be.
No, but come on, like... Yeah, I know he might not be, but I'm saying is, I said it's a possibility, sis.
Yes, okay, possibility.
God,
this is the thing about arguing, man. Right, you're annoying me.
We need to ask them a question.
No.
How do I get Sid to stop pissing me off?
How do I get Dina to stop pissing me off? Alright.
So can we just, if you are a parent, yeah, and you're watching us, yeah, and you have a child who might be coming of that age, can you please not have this idea in your head where you have to please the family and it's been arranged since they were born, they have to get married, otherwise shame on the family.
What is that about?
Get over it. If you want your kids to be happy, you let them pick who they want to get married.
Exactly.
You can guide them.
You can guide them.
Sometimes kids, especially young, obviously you can guide them, because young people sometimes don't actually know what they want. They think they do, but they really don't.
Yeah, I mean, there's no problem with picking a suitor. There's no problem with that.
Arranged marriage is fine.
It's fine to say, oh, look at her, is she nice? Oh, look at him. Do you think there's something there? What? You know what I'm saying? That's alright. But when you start saying, yo, I talked to her father, yeah? Or I talked to his father, you're getting married to him. Like, what is that about? And what's this all?
Choice.
Yeah, like there's no choice. And you get all these parents like blackmailing them.
Emotional blackmail is basically forcing. It is.
Yeah, you're completely forcing them.
It doesn't have to be physical force, but it is force still.
And they're getting upset like, oh, but it's my family.
Yes, not your family, I'm your family.
When you're talking about marriage, of the child, you know, nobody's, her or his opinion matters way more than anybody else's, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It should, because you're not staying with them. You're not marrying that person. You're not going to be with them for the rest of your life, potentially. Well, some people, you know, they hook up these marriages so the woman can be, the like daughter-in-law can be a maid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, but that's another subject.
It's not just she could be a maid, but they have this mentality that daughter-in-law is beneath everyone and she's there.
And she's gonna come and do stuff for everyone, like clean everybody's rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah, the fuck.
What is that about?
It's just a culture. This is not Islam. Anyway.
Of course it's not.
I'm just clearing it up for people who don't know.
If your family is getting violent, you're being forced into marriage and they're getting violent.
And they're threatening to kill you, man.
Yeah, there's only one thing to do, and you call the police.
I know you don't want your family to get locked up and stuff, but...
Yeah, but they've done it. You haven't done it to them. They've done it to themselves. If they're getting violent, they've done it to themselves. You call the police. You gotta look out for number one in that situation. I'm serious. I mean, they might flip and kill you, and then what? What, you didn't want to call the police on your parents, and they go ahead and, you know, take your life.
What? You like, I know it's difficult for me to say because alhamdulillah, I haven't been through this or anything, but this generation of people who are being forced into marriage and these things are still happening, you need to do the extreme, which is call the police. You know, take some action so that you can stop these stupid traditions and cultures from happening. Yeah. Because, well, like, you know, people have come, you know, people have immigrated for how many years, you know, and they've come to, you know, Europe and they've brought their kids up in the UK, and, you know, we're British Muslims and British education, British mentality, British everything. We're just, our religion is just Islam, but our parents are like back home mentality. You know what I mean?
Which has nothing to do with Islam.
Yeah, but hold on a minute. Back home mentality, even though they've been here for like 20, 30 years, it's just like, what's the point of progressing and trying to get a better life and all that if you're still going to bring the shit from the country with you, like the backwards mentality and forcing your kids to do shit that, you know?
Definitely.
What's the point of bringing the backward stuff with you when you're trying to move forward? You know what I mean? Like, when is this ever going to stop? This is going to keep going on the next 100 years. It's always going to be a problem of forced marriage, of flipping rape, uncles raping nieces and nephews, and then nobody talking about it because they don't want shame on the family. Like,
what is this shame on the family? What is that about? What's this shame on the family? Oh yeah, you're gonna embarrass me in front of my whole family. You're gonna bring my name down.
Like, how dare you accuse an older family member of doing this or do like this shit happens, and it happens more and more. The thing, people like the older generation, they need to stop trying to please the community and the other older generation and just do what's best for the immediate family. Immediate as in your kids, like the people that, you know what I mean, like and like this whole thing of like, oh, you know, big families and like your, you know, people getting too close with it, and so you got like a 17-year-old uncle doing weird shit with the, you know, to a poor niece because they're all living in the same place, or because they've been told that, oh yeah, you're close, like shit like that, you know what I mean? This backwards mentality needs to stop. And when it does happen, you guys, the kids who are going through it, if you're 17, 18, you know it's wrong, but you don't want to shame the family or you don't want anyone to get lost, you need to take action because it needs to stop at some point, because it's just going to keep happening. Like,
I mean, there's loads of organisations out there that you can actually approach. You don't have to go directly to the police, and they could work with the police if it gets violent and stuff, but you could go to an organisation first and they'll give you advice and help and stuff like that.
We'll try and leave links below to some organisations that we've researched that offer advice and support to people who are in these situations, like arranged or forced marriage, for example.
Let's just make one thing clear, right? Islamically, right? If you do not agree with the person you're getting married to, and you get married, your marriage is invalid.
Yeah, if you're forced, if you're being emotionally blackmailed and you're just doing this but you don't want to get married to this person, the marriage is invalid anyway.
It's an invalid marriage, so because actually, you don't want that person to be your wife or husband.
You're going in, your intention is like, oh, I don't want to get married to this person, but I'm doing it because I have to. So,
It's
so your parents are setting you up for a haram marriage.
Yeah, so
like that person is haram for you anyway.
Exactly, and then you're gonna have sex. It might lead on to kids and all this, and it's just gonna snowball. So you know, if they're trying to come through from an Islamic perspective, you should just tell them that straight away, like what you're doing. Yeah, but who
are we talking about now? Because the girl's already married.
No, I'm just talking general. If you have parents that consider themselves to be religious, right, then you tell them that straight off the bat, and they can research. Every scholar will agree on this. It's invalid because you don't agree on it. And
tell them straight. Stop with this emotional blackmail shit. Tell them in your language. Tell them straight. Like, listen, this emotional thingy. Oh, okay, then I'm not forcing you, but it'd be really not. Like, no, this is your life. This is your life. And it's up to you to build it how you want.
Exactly.
Like, it's not up to them. They have a part in it, obviously, but the ultimate decision, it's up to you. And this is why we have so many, like, problems in marriages, because of the incompatibility or the forced marriages and the problems later on. And it's forced, the guy's been forced and the girl's been forced. It's not just like the female getting forced, it's from both sides. And this is why just things are shit and people don't progress, basically.
Parents, let your kids choose who they want to marry.
This is the problem as well. So many, families that they're like, you have to marry my brothers, you have to marry your cousin, blah blah. And it's regardless of whether that person is a shit person or not, whether he's even practicing Muslim.
It's all about relations.
It's all about cultural and how you look to the community. He's not half the time that spouse isn't even a decent person, isn't it?
No,
they
and
just have to do
you know
anyway.
what? Even sometimes it's about keeping the land they have back home in the family.
In the family, yeah.
It makes no sense.
So backwards.
Like, what the heck? Like your blood is gonna get dumbed down if you go elsewhere. It's
because in the UK, when you have your registry, you know, if you were to get divorced in the UK, the partner, husband or wife, is entitled to half. And for a lot of people, that's like a big thing, because for a lot of people, especially when it comes to the woman, they don't trust the woman. They think she's out to like steal the guy from the family and steal all his, you know what I mean? They think that, innit?
Let me tell you one thing, right? If you force a marriage, you're setting it up to be a failure, to be drama, way more than if your child chooses. You know what I'm saying?
At least if your child chooses and it doesn't go well,
then it's on them.
It's on them, and
they're not going to blame you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you're not going to lose. You're not going to lose that relationship with your kids. You know what I mean? You don't want your kids to hate you.
Exactly.
To hate you, not to hate you, but to really dislike you
to resent you.
They just love you just because you're their parent.
Exactly.
Nothing else. But actually, they think you're a shit person.
That would be the worst thing for your kid, to resent you. It's your responsibility as parents to look after them, to look at what's in their best interests, and be their parent.
A lot of parents have this thing. This might come back and bite us in the ass when Hannah's older. A lot of parents have this thing where, like, oh, whatever we say goes, and Islamically you have to obey your parents, whatever the hell it is. But children have rights over their parents too.
Yeah.
So, and I'm pretty sure a woman has the right to choose who she wants to get married to, or to agree.
Or disagree.
Yep. Yeah, like, Islamically she does. There's nothing that says if your dad says you have to marry him, then you have to. No.
Nowhere does it say that. And we've ranted on enough. So we could probably make 1 million videos on this.
Because it's so annoying how culture overpowers Islam and makes Islam look backwards and
bad.
shit. When Islam has the most like rights for women, equality, it's like the most amazing if you look into it properly, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just culture that makes it look so archaic, but it's not.
A lot of people think like in Islam you can beat your wife and stuff like. No, this is culture. And you know what I'm saying? Like, they think the Muslim men around the country are like beating their wives for not making them a sandwich.
Make them a cup of tea. Tell me to make you a cup of tea.
Yo, make me a cup of tea.
No, bitch, do it yourself. That's what you can do in Islam. It's called banter, bro.
It's called banter. We hope your situation works out, and we hope that you can sort everything out with your spouse. And
if anybody else who might be in this particular situation, then just think a bit. As in, you need to take this as your responsibility for the future generation. Put a stop to this mentality now.
Right now.
Bye.
Bye!